I want to talk to you about the future of education. Now, to do that, I want to tell you a story about the cars that I used to drive, currently drive, and I think I'll drive in the future. And then based on that story, I want to use that as an example of why we need to build an education system in the future that's based on creativity and friendships or community. Now, I grew up in the 50s and 60s, and my first car was a 1960 Ford Falcon. Isn't that a lovely car? Well, look at that engine. I can tell you everything that's in that engine. There's the battery that has the starter motor that turns over the pistons, and there's spark plugs in there under this cover, and this air filter provides air to the piston. I mean, it's a pretty simple car, and you can actually see the ground if you look in there. Currently, I drive a 2014 Toyota Prius. I have no idea what's in there. All I know is if I stick my hand in the wrong place, I could get electrocuted. Now, I took my Falcon to an auto mechanic. I took my Prius to an auto technician. If I'm lucky enough to live another 10 or 15 years, I'm going to drive a Google car. Who fixes a Google car? Because here's the problem. There's the Google car. Google cars have to be programmed for everything. So one situation would be I'm driving down a busy street, people on the sidewalk on either side, and the brakes go out. Now, my sensors say in front, there's an elderly lady pushing a stroller and a young mother pushing a baby carriage. You have to program the car to determine who you're going to run down. Well, this story really isn't about auto mechanics. In the future, we have to educate people that we used to call auto mechanics to make life and death decisions. How do we change education to do that? Well, I think it's a combination of creativity and friendships or community. Now, creativity has two building blocks. Building blocks of basic skills, and then you have to practice at creating with those basic skills. I think the best example of this is a professor I had at the University of Minnesota did an experiment with our class where he gave us different bags of Legos. One bag had a Lego person, another bag had a Lego car, and another bag had a Lego helicopter. Well, we got together, the people who did the Lego person, there's only 6 pieces, 2 of which are a torso and legs. Everything looked like a person. Now, there's 10 or 12 pieces in here, but 2 of them were wheels, and so everything looked like a car. The people who got the bags with a helicopter, nobody built a helicopter. To be creative, you have to have lots of building blocks. If you're going to write, you need lots of words. If you're going to be a mathematician, you need to know lots of functions. If you're going to be a historian, you need to know lots of facts. So you have to have all these building blocks, and then you have to practice putting them together in different ways to be creative and solve problems. The other thing is we need to be part of a community. Humans need to be part of a group. Our modern society has forgotten that. There's a great book called Reality is Broken, where the author points out that the people who write video games are using this to write video games to make us feel good. How many times, people who play Candy Crush and Solitaire to get positive feedback? Thomas Friedman, the New York columnist, talks about the 3 M's. Market globalization, Mother Nature, Moore's Law, where computer power doubles every 18 to 24 months. These 3 factors are dramatically changing our society. But that means we need community more than ever. That should stay the same. And the best example I can think of that is the University of Minnesota Marching Band. Those people know they belong to a group that cares about them. Their grade point average is 3.65, which is remarkable for that large a group. So, the future of education is going to be built on creativity and friendships. And I think with that, we can build a world that will be a much better place than today.